We are jumping over to multifamily now, and I got an interesting one for you in Silver Lake. As we know, Silver Lake is a very hot area, especially if you're in the right location near all those bougie restaurants, coffee shops. It's become very artsy, and the price per square foot for living in this area has just skyrocketed. So, what do we have here? So this is an 8 unit apartment going for under $1 million. Now, this is going to be an auction, so you can imagine the price is going to go quite a bit higher. But multifamily is very unique, especially when it comes to auctions. It's going to scare a lot of people because you can imagine the rents are probably going to be low, and we're going to check on that. And as you know, Silver Lake is in the city of Los Angeles, so you do have the RSO rent control, which is maybe the strictest, most difficult rent control in the country, maybe the world even. So let's kind of dive in here. What do we got? We have 5,600 square feet of living space for $1 million. That's pretty awesome. You're looking at $176 a square foot, which is just remarkable. I mean, single family homes go for 800, $1,000 a square foot. So, to get, pretty much 1/8 or 1/10 of the cost for this is truly a great discount. Okay, so let's go further. Okay, we know it's an auction, tremendous upside, completely agree with that. Let's see if I can find out what the cap rate is. Okay, so it's only been on the market for 22 hours, only 104 views. Again, you're not going to get the same type of demand as if it was single family. Larry Flans and Wiener Inc., they're a very popular auctioneer company in the area. I suggest you sign up for their newsletter if you want to go to some of their other auctions. They have them all over the SoCal area, maybe even further that I'm not aware of. We can check out the location. Okay. Now again, I can't. We can take a look at. So the prime area, my understanding is more in this location, but this is not bad either. I mean, you're still very close to the park, Dodger Stadium. Silver Lake is up here, right? I'm sorry. So Echo Park Lake is over here. Silver Lake is up here. So this is still a very prime location. Let's check out the specific property here. All right, it's going to be this location. You can see there's parking in the back. Most likely it's 1-to-1, but we can verify that. Okay, and there you go. Let's take a look at the street view. Okay, another thing that's not so attractive about it is it's clearly on a slope. You're going to have water drainage kind of head towards the back there, and that's going to be your problem if it doesn't drain very well. Okay. It's clearly very outdated. You can see all the windows are very old, but the stucco seems to be in good condition. The what do you call these again? The eaves or something? The fascia boards, right? They look like they're pretty worn out, but that's not too expensive to change out. You can either use, Bondo and save them or just replace the wood. It's not the end of the world. This is kind of some unique, um frontage there. Okay. Trying to get a closer look in the back here. This is another property that doesn't belong to you. The parking is really where the property line ends. Okay, you do have these stairs which look like they're in good condition. I mean, it's a lot of stairs. Look at this. Stairs, stairs. It's stairs everywhere. So unless your tenants need to be not too elderly if they're going to manage all these stairs. Okay. Nonetheless, again, you're looking at um $176 a square foot, which means the unit should be pretty well sized despite the very low price. So we have 5644 divided by 8. Each unit is 705 square feet. That is a good size. That is a very good size. I just built some ADUs and I did a 2 bed, 1 bathroom apartment that was only 630 square feet. So whether these are 1 or 2 bedrooms, the fact that they're this large, just tells you that they're very big units and you'll get a premium rent for that. Okay, so I have access to the rents. You can't see that. I don't want to show them. That's kind of private, but what I see is three of the units may be vacant. They're not collecting any rent. That doesn't necessarily mean they're vacant. It could be family members or maybe tenants who are not paying. We don't really know, but three of the units are currently show no rent. Ideally, those are vacant. That would be amazing. That means you have to come down all cash because no bank is going to give you a loan. They might give you a bridge loan, but no traditional bank will give you a loan with those amount of vacancies. And the remaining units are very, very below market. I mean, they're probably like 30 to 40% of market rent. So if market rent, let's just say $3,000, they're paying somewhere between 1,200 and maybe $1,400 a unit, right? So there's a lot of big upside, and those are for the five occupied units. So just based on the cap rate as is, I'm not going to put in scheduled rents for the vacant units. Let's just take them at zeros right now. That would put the as is cap rate at 3.6% with the, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't change the purchase price yet. Let's just put a million. That would put the as is cap rate at 2.9% and the pro forma cap rate closer to 20%. So huge, huge upside here. With that type of upside, you can definitely offer these tenants a healthy buyout amount if they're interested in moving out. Again, this is Los Angeles, so it's got to be cash for keys. It's got to be an agreement. They have to agree to whatever price that you offer to them, and they are not required to take it. Okay. Now, that being said, again, it's quite a bit underpriced here. I think if you could even get this, and maybe I'm jumping ahead, but I can't help it. I got my calculator out here. Even if we went to say 1.5 million, which is half a million above the current asking price, okay, that would, and then let's put in the scheduled rents in here because that's what everybody's gonna do anyway. I'm gonna put 2,200 for the one bedrooms. There's two bedrooms and there's six one bedrooms. I'm gonna put 2,200 for the one bedrooms. It could be higher. Okay, that would put your. Sorry, I need to fix one more thing here. That would put your as-is cap rate at 4.5% at a $1.5 million purchase price, and the pro forma cap at about 10.5%, 10% pretty much. That sounds to me more reasonable. So if I had to guess what at least I would be interested in um, to buy this property, it would probably be if I could get it for under 1.5, I think that's going to be a pretty good deal. I like the big units. I like the opportunity. The location's nice. This is my type of property. So, and again, a lot of people are not going to be interested. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but a lot of people naturally will not be interested because, again, there's no clear line of sight to, you know, add value here. Okay, it's a family trust auction. Great upside. We can't get any more there's no more pictures. Oh, there are 9 pictures. We'll take a look at that. Sorry if I'm scrolling through here. So this is what they do. I mean, they're trying to get the highest price for the seller. That's what they're here to do. So they're going to leave it on the market for a while. They're going to let it draw a lot of attention. They're going to have two open houses. Look at they're separated by a week each. And the third week, which would be August 22nd, right? That's typically the auction. And you can see it one more time, and that's when they'll do the live auction. You have to come with a cashier's check, probably 25 or $30,000, something like that, and go there, go bid for it. Yeah. So let's see, when was it built? Lot size is good lot size. Built 1967. I like the 1960s. Okay. Anything else we can decipher from here? I mean, you can see the big downtrend here. Again, this graph is not very relevant when it comes to multifamily. Price action. So interesting. They tried to sell it for 1.5 in the past, and evidently it just could not get done, which is why they're listing it for sale now through the auction method. So I would hope somebody would see this and say, well, I'm obviously not going to pay 1.5 if you couldn't sell it at that amount earlier. So what's a fair price for this? One and a quarter? I would certainly like it at one and a quarter. Let's see here. You could fill these up. Let's just say you got it for one and a quarter. Once you fill up those vacancies, I mean, even if you couldn't turn over any of the units, you're already at a 5.5% cap rate with upside to 12.5%. Like that's an awesome deal. That you might be getting the cap rate, maybe if you got it stabilized, it'd be like 6.5%. Okay, you're giving up 1% to get a value add opportunity that could go up to 12.5%. So if you were to somehow get, let's just say you turn over the remaining one bedrooms, okay? Just because that's so easy for me to do, I just add those in. If you turned over the remaining one bedrooms and you got $2,200 each for those, okay, now the cap rate's 7.44% at the 1.25, and we let's say we wanted to estimate the resale value at 1.75. Yeah. So now the property value is probably gonna be closer to 1.75, and you just turned over three units. So could you turn over three units for say $250,000? I think so. I mean, if you came in there, I hate to ever like suggest a price because that's going to, put a lot of people in good or bad light, and I don't want to say that. But essentially the numbers are reasonable at that amount. Yeah. So, anyways, with parking, which is awesome again, and big units, I like it. I like it, this one.